Greetings everyone, Pockets here, back again playing some more EVE Online. Once again on Kaltorin, we are checking out our newly fit close combat Rattlesnake. As you might remember, I wasn't too impressed with the sniper one that I had built previously and was leaning more towards my Dominix. However, with this new fit, I have played it a few and I'm really enjoying it in certain situations. The one mission I know for sure, there might be two, but definitely the blockade I have a little bit of trouble with. The dampening really hurts, even with, and I'll get to it, but even with an ECCM scripted sensor booster. So I'm going to try and avoid blockades, and I think the assault will have the same problem, because remember the assault has a lot of dampening as well. A little bit's fine, but there was just so much that I couldn't actually shoot anything, which caused my tank not to be able to hold, and I actually ended up flying out and going back in with my Dominix to finish the last blockade. But I'm sure I can work with the fit and figure that out. But today we're going to just check this fit out. I'm going to take it into a mission and show you just how good it is. I really enjoy flying it on missions other than the blockade, so I might just get rid of my Dominix and just skip the blockade and the assault or anything with heavy dampening and lots of targets. But let's get through this fit. So the highs consist of 5 rapid heavy missile launcher 2s. I got to pull that ammo out because I'm switching to the right ones. Currently, for the mission that we're about to get, we are going to be flying Inferno missiles. The 6th high slot is a drone link augmentor to get our drone control range out a bit. Currently a Tech 2 100 meganewton afterburner. I was a little broke when I built it. I wanted to put a Republic Fleet or a Shadow Serpentis or something else in here, something a little faster. So we will swap that out once we get a little more ISK. How are we doing? Climbing up. That won't take too long. So these are going to be rat-specific hardeners, so for where we're going into, thermal kinetic is recommended. So that's what we have fit. I do have the other 2 hardeners in my inventory, so if we come up against Blood Raiders or Angels, we can swap them out. Large capacitor battery here. I did have an omnidirectional tracking unit. I thought maybe a little more... Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and put that back in for now, because I don't need the capacitor battery. It just doesn't, it gives me an extra minute, but I don't seem to need it. Well, we'll leave it. I'll show you how the fit works as it is, and then we'll work on it. I'm doing all these little tweaks, so this won't be the final fit, but for now that's fine. I do have a sensor booster too, usually runs a scan resolution script, so I can target things faster. The other thing I can do is swap it out for an ECCM script. If I notice there's a lot of dampening, it helps a little bit. It gives me some resistance to that sort of thing, and jamming if I come up against like Garistas. An adaptive invulnerability field, and a Pith X-type large shield extender. And the lows count are 3 ballistic control units and 3 drone damage amplifiers. I may go to 4 ballistics control units. We'll see. And then over here we have 3 large capacitor control circuits. I had thought of switching these out to the battery style ones that give additional capacitor capacity, but I like having the recharge because we're not running the booster constantly. It's nice to get that extra bit of recharge when it's not being under pressured. We maintain ammo. It's pretty much the only thing we bring. Come on now. Get rid of that. We're going to be flying thermal, so we'll just keep that. For most of the time, I'll be bringing, as you know, mobile tractor units. I'm not going to bother doing it for this mission. I don't have time to loot today and salvage, so I'm just going to go in and fly the mission. And then for drones, I just, whatever drone faction-specific drones we need. We don't really need these, but lights don't really work really well on the Rattlesnake. I already lost a whole flight of them. They're just not, they don't get any of the bonuses, so they're pretty raw. And my heavy missiles seem to do well enough against frigates and destroyers, so just bring the heavies we need. Again, once I have the ISK, I'm going to pick up a Gecko and try that out. But for now, that's the fit. 1300 DPS when everything applies. Kind of split 50-50 between missiles and drones. And that's that. I'm toying with the idea of flipping this out for a missile targeting computer, just to get some little more out of my missiles. But let's go ahead and do Damsel in Distress. So this is a mission where you basically clear them in waves and you watch the triggers. The triggers being attacking Krull, and then at various points when the pleasure guarding is being damaged, you'll get more spawns. I'm going to try to be careful. I think it's 75% armor for the first spawn, and then 40% hull for the next. So once we're into armor, we'll have to take it easy and maybe recall our drones or something so we don't trigger both. But we're going to go ahead and do it. It's in the system next door, so I'm just going to keep you guys on board for the travel over. And we're going to see how this baby does. Stack these because I have to be organized or it drives me nuts. And yeah, so let's get into space and let's get this mission done. This is a much closer range fit than the last one I flew. And it's way, way closer than my Dominic's, but seems to do these, I don't know what to call them, blitzable missions necessarily, because they're not necessarily blitzable. I'm just going to wait till I'm outside of this Charon here. There's a Charon, right? Yep. Once we're not going to run into it, we will go here. I was also asked about how I'm setting the waypoints. When I'm navigating my ship, I'm doing it manually from like out here, doing this, and I'll go through that once we're on grid with some targets, how I manually control orbits and how you use that tool, because I guess it's not very well documented anywhere. I'm pretty sure I talked about it once, but I mean somewhere in the last 50 Eve videos or 40 Eve videos, so I'll just do it again just to have it out there. It's a nice little skill to have, so I don't mind doing it. I did have a lot of fun in the missions other than blockade with this ship, and again the blockade would have been fine was it not for all the dampening. The dampening just annoyed the crap out of me. I suppose I could double up on the sensor boosters, maybe? Let me know what you think about that down in the comments. Maybe swap out the battery for another sensor booster to get a little more resistant to dampening. I have a feeling I could do the blockade with this if I wasn't damped, because it does kill things quick once they're in range. Operating range is 54 kilometers and then 78 for our drones, so we try to keep within the 54 to apply that 1300 DPS. And yeah, take a peek here. On warp. Okay, now we're going to warp in and we're going to save the Damsel yet again. This poor Damsel keeps getting abducted by Serpentis. Let us see. The reason I chose faction missiles over the Tech 2s for now is that if I was going to go without the faction missiles and just use Tech 2s, I'd have precision for the small stuff and fury for the big stuff, but the reload time on a rapid missile launcher is like 60 seconds or something. Reload time is 35 seconds. And so by going to the Navy missiles, you kind of fall in the between the two of them for damage, between the two of them for explosion radius, range, all of that. And it seems to apply just fine to everything, so it gives me that so I don't have to be swapping missiles when I switch from shooting frigates to shooting frigates and cruisers, maybe even going to battle cruisers and battleships. So I get a little more, maybe feels a little better anyways, because I'm not reloading quite as often. Also, it means I only have to carry one of each damage type, or have them in stock, so I only have to have 4 missile types in stock. I don't have to stock, you know, all of the different missile types. Okay, so we're going to start this off here. We zoom out, and we're going to go kind of this way around. So if I hold Q and click, that sets my horizontal, so I'm on the plane. And then if you move your mouse up and down, you can set your increase or decrease inclination, and then you click again. Most of the time, if I'm staying on the same plane, I just double click. So one click to set your horizontal, and then you can adjust your incline and then adjust again. Krull has to die last, and these guys can all die in whatever order I so choose. Gotta watch the drones. Things do try to take out the drones pretty quickly. We're gonna first take out frigates, Krull's henchmen. We're gonna shoot some missiles at them, so you can see here they just volley missiles like rapidly. Boom. And let's target Krull's other henchman. Krull must go last because he spawns another wave. Oops, that's not going to work, is it? We'll take this out next. We'll get our drones out there. Start clearing these guys away. I'll get the battleships soon too. I usually like to clear them off first, but because frigates affect my drones greatly, I like to clear them out as soon as I can. So we'll put a couple missiles on them. I usually do 2. Oops, I missed it. 1 was enough. We'll actually let that guy finish up. Let's Krull. We'll put him up there so we can watch him. Drones should be on passive. Yes. And drones are taking a little bit of hits, but that should be okay. Let's go here and take this guy out. And we're going to quickly, so we keep up our traversal, you can see they're slightly below me. So I'm going to go like this, and down a little, and then just click again and let go of Q. And then your ship will just adjust. So that's how that's done. I'm going to pull this guy in. Now that they're targeting that guy, they're being shot by Krull and this Pleasure Hub Guardian here, so we're going to get rid of them. We'll have to leave Krull. Not much we can do about it. I can pull them both in. Hopefully they're not being webbed too hard. And we'll just right click and attack target. This one? No, not lock target. How do I do it from there? I never do it from here. Engage target. I just didn't want to pull both of them. We should actually be using ogres because I think these guys are more against thermal, but we can actually pull this guy back out now. I'm going to get this guy dead, and we'll check our spot. Okay, so we're kind of pulling this way, so we're going to come this way a little more. We're just going to try to keep going diagonally to them. We don't want to make too big of a turn because it drops our speed too much. And you can see here we're just sort of brawling it through. But once I turn on my... Here comes the big long reload. Lots going on. Sorry, I'm talking pretty quick, so there's a lot going on all at once. Get the drones on these guys. Krull is still shooting them, so we will watch. I just don't want to take Krull out just yet, because we don't want to spawn a bunch more battleships. And I'm just going to kind of come side on to these battleships as much as I can. So come out here, double click. We'll go this, maybe more towards this. We're going to above it. Yep, we're good. So... yeah, and it's just kind of positional awareness. If I was down lower, I'd have to come up to get over this structure here, but I'm below them, so it's not a problem. We can turn this off now. Drones are doing fine. Missiles are back. We can put one volley into this. Oops. I'm going to switch to ogres. One volley should finish him off. And then we'll put start volleying him. We'll get our ogres out. They do a little more damage, and I'm pretty sure this is a thermal, even though it looks like, you know, Angel and all sorts of guys. I think they're mostly thermal. Thermal hole, if I remember correctly. That's why I picked the thermal missiles. Yeah, that looked much quicker. For cruisers, I usually just do 2 volleys of missiles and let the drones do the rest. As soon as he's attacked, he brings in his 6 battleships, but short work of Krull there. We're going kind of towards these guys, so we're going to peel off in a thisly direction. It's a bit of a hard turn, but we'll see how bad that affects our speed. Shouldn't be too bad. Drones on him, missiles. And we kind of watch. Once they're almost through armor, I turn off the missiles and let the drones finish the structure. Just conserve a bit of ammo. So like there, we'll turn off. That's one more volley of missiles going to hit because of the delay. And then frigate, or destroyers. Not destroyers either, drones. Finish it off. Pulse the armor repper. Shield repper. I am going to work a bit on... they're below us, eh? That's fine. Just means we can kind of go like this. And we'll put a couple volleys on here. I forgot to turn off the volleys that time. I wasn't paying attention. I am still going to work on this fit. I may up the tank a little. Might be a way to go as well. Maybe some... I don't know. I don't want necessarily any cap stable, so maybe just a boost amplifier to increase the recharge, so I don't have to run it quite as many cycles, or replace some of the battery rigs for boost amplifying rigs. Something like that should do it. And yeah, just keep adjusting so that we're kind of keeping our traversal up, because traversal doesn't matter to us with our missiles. It matters more to anybody that's not shooting missiles, so you can see they're using some sort of guns. So there's our missiles reloading. So traversal gets... the other thing you can do is if you wanted to, you could like orbit this guy. Let's just say orbit at current. That'll keep our traversal up on him a little more, but it'll also slow us down. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, do what you feel. So you can see how bad we slow down because we're trying to get that proper... There's our pleasure gardens right there. And again, once we get that into armor, we're going to have to be careful, so we'll recall our drones once these into the armor. Let's put a couple rounds of missiles on this guy. Probably 3. 1. Just watching the cycles. 2. 3. That looks like right. Maybe even 1 too many. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and reload. Let the drones take out this structure. Let's orbit it at the current. Just for now. Just to keep us moving. So yeah, I might do some things. I might switch some of the rigs around to get a little extra recharge maybe. Because it does hold, it'd be nice to get a little bit stronger reps. I don't want to go to an extra large on this one for some reason. It would really chew into my capacitor, maybe. It feels like it, especially if I have to run it any sort of constantly. So I think just boosting the output of this particular repper would not be a bad idea. Maybe I'll replace that battery, start with that, and get a boost amplifier. Let's recall the drones, because we're about to get a spawn. Right? You gonna give me my spawn? Because I'm pretty sure the first one is into some sort of structure or armor. Let's just see here. Let's just wait it for a minute. I don't necessarily want to get bull spawns. Come on. I'm going to shoot one volley of missiles at it because I didn't get the spawn. Unless that's not the one. That's Pleasure Gardens. And I'm supposed to be killing the Pleasure Gardens to get the Damsel, yes? What's this? I bet you it's this one then. Okay, it's this one. That's the different Pleasure Gardens. There's two. So obviously that's not the one we want. Let's get our drones back out because we don't want to conserve ammo. We will watch it. It's not that far, so it won't take the drones long to get over there. Let's see. So as I was talking about with the sentry drones, where if you're sniping, sentry drones are great because they apply immediately. They don't have to travel to their target. They just have a rate of fire like anything else. So they act kind of like gun turrets. But the other drones have to get into range, and you just got to watch it. Make sure you're not... So we'll just watch for the spawn. I'll recall my drones. Yeah, there we go. There's the message over here in local, so we'll call our drones in just so they don't pick up aggro. And there's the spawn. So we're going to go ahead and traversal. I'm going to get this spider drone. And we'll just start working our way through these guys because they don't trigger anything. We'll just give them a second to start working on us here. Oh, I took too much stuff. I need those spider drones because they're going to web me. There we go. Missiles are fine on the spider drones. This is where the tracking computer or the missile guidance computer wouldn't be a bad idea. Bring our ogres out to start on this battleship. Large drones can't hit spider drones, and they can barely hit frigates, so just don't even bother, typically. Missiles are doing fine here. And we'll just start peeling things off. These are going to be our biggest threats, so we'll get rid of the battleships first. Alright. And you can see, we're not doing too bad against that just with the drones. Keep an eye on everything. Until we get the DPS down, it's going to be a little trouble. But we'll get those spiders down and get our speed back up, so these battleships can't hit us as easily. And that should be another extra volley in the air. That should finish it off. 6 missiles left. Oh, we need one more. Nope, we got it. And we'll switch our missiles over to the battleships, and we've got our range up. So we are going to look. We're going to kind of go this way to get our traversal up a bit. Turn our repping off. Just conserve some capacitor. Drones are taking damage. Let's call them in for now. Let's missile this guy. We might lose this ogre because I wasn't paying attention. Nope, we're close enough. They're going to get in. And we'll just switch over to wasps. And we'll get them working on some stuff here. So yeah, caught it just in time. So that's good. And we'll watch for the cruisers to switch targets again. When they go yellow, it means I have to call my drones in. Reloading. The battleships are a bigger threat to me. Cruisers are a bigger threat to our drones. Kind of still have our traversal up a bit. I'm going to try to go maybe this way. Beautiful. Drones onto the others. So even without missiles, we're doing just fine in this instance. Let's let our capacitor charge a little bit more before I bother repping. Because once we get this battleship down, we should be okay. Whew. It is definitely a much more engaging piloting. You got to keep moving and keep an eye on a lot of things, unlike my Dominics. I think I will do one video. Maybe after we check in with Cursed, we'll do one video with the Dominics and the proper sniper setup, just so you can see the difference. Missiles are good, so we'll do 2 into this cruiser with the drones on it. 1, 2. That should be enough to really do it. We're going to start orbiting this pleasure hub again. Turn off our reps so we don't lose all our capacitor in case we get into trouble with the next wave. The next wave is much smaller. This was the big one. We'll probably power through the structure and warp out. We'll see. I think there's only like one battleship in the other Why am I still... Nope, that's okay. So we'll do 1 and 2. And 2. And then we'll switch missiles over to this. 1 and 2. Okay. And the drone should start hitting them. There we go. We're just orbiting the pleasure hub. And we'll send the drones after this guy just to finish him off. We can stop our missiles. And we'll let the drones take care of that while we reload our missiles for the next wave. Drones take care of the pleasure gardens. We get our spawn here at like 40% hull, so we'll probably let the drones finish off the gardens. And we'll shoot some stuff while we go for the loot. I like to finish off the last wave, even though you can grab the loot, because Zord does have a chance of dropping some valuable loot in this one. He's the final guy. So what we'll probably do is orbit the battleship at whatever range once he gets here to keep our traversal up on him and blow everything else up. And we'll have our missiles fully reloaded by the time this thing dies. Let's see, do I want to just let the drones do their thing? No, we're going to go ahead and shoot a couple rounds into it just to help speed it up, because it doubles our DPS for that amount of time. We'll go down to 20, and then we'll save it. There we go. We'll save that for the next wave. There it comes. Taking out any frigates first. Let's recall our drones, actually, because they're going to get picked on here. And we'll orbit him at 20, just to keep our traversal up on the battleship. And we'll put missiles on there. Couple shots. These frigates might web, but we'll just sort of do them in order. It doesn't matter. With the drones in right now, get everything targeting us. How's our Hobbs doing there? We're not going to risk them. These guys are still okay. We can use the Wasps. Switch missiles to these guys. We'll use drones on these guys. And just sort of managing our DPS here. One salvo seems to take out these death dealers, which is great. And yeah, no dampening, which is a huge thing for me. What's not engaging gameplay is not being able to play the game. So being permanent damped or jammed when you're trying to shoot from, even this 50 kilometers, I couldn't get into range properly to actually do anything. It was really annoying. Alright, and then we're going to get onto Zor here. He's missing us, or not hitting us too hard. Let's do another shot. And actually, let's take out Zor, and then we'll get the drones on the pleasure hub once he's dead. And that'll be it. So you can see how quick that was. Battleships go down nice and fast with everything on it. Like, look at that, just chewing through them. Not a problem. We're probably going to run out of ammo just before he dies, but that's okay. We can reload. Drones will finish him off. And we will go loot this wreck. I did have a micro warp drive for my first 2 missions, and while it was nice being able to close distances quick for short bursts, I think being able to speed tank battleships, reduce the incoming damage by running the Afterburner constantly is better for this type of fighting. So we'll get this loot, we'll call our drones in. They took a bit of damage, but that's okay. That's all in shields, that'll repair. We'll have to remember to repair our Ogre when we hit station. So because I'm not running faction drones, the hit points just aren't where they would normally be. I could up these, but I do get a bit more DPS out of it with the racial, as I discussed in the last one, the racial bonus to various tanks, or various drones. So you trade off. I could make them a little more survivable, but I just manage them, and if I lose one, they're only a couple million, so each site pays for a handful of drones anyway. Just don't want to run a capacitor and not be able to warp out. There's a container here somewhere that we have to get. Or did it just end up in our inventory? I've done that before. Yeah, Damsel just teleports in, so that's fine. We'll loot this, see if we get anything good, and we'll get docked up. It was a lot of fun. I do like flying this ship. It's a lot of fun. Come on, loot me. Yeah, that's not bad. 62 mil. So we got a custom navigation link, which is the small one, and a custom hyperlink. This is the one I might even just plug in, because it gives a 5% bonus. Nope, that's micro warp drive. Afterburner II, though. Might be worth plugging it in. We'll see. That's 62 million worth just for that. So that alone makes it worth it. Let's go ahead back to here. We can turn off all of this stuff. And this. And there you have it. So that is a more brawling type setup. Everything's close range, rapid missiles. I really like the look of rapid missiles. The actual missile launchers look really cool. Let's see if I can get a good angle here. We're going to be in warp though, so there they are. There's no good light, so I'll show you those. They look pretty cool, and they just shoot. So it's like rapid firing heavy missiles. It's great. And yeah, so we'll warp on over, we'll hand that in, we'll see what we get. ISK is piling up, 3 million for various things. So we'll be able to buy some equipment here. I do have some other stuff in the works, I'm just waiting for the cash out to make a bit of ISK. And I might, considering selling my Dominics and just skipping things like the blockade, because I actually prefer flying this, it's a lot more fun. We're repped up so we can turn that baby off. Just tweaking the fits. So if you have some ideas of what I can do for tweaking, I don't want to switch away from heavy missiles. I don't want to go back to cruise missiles. I think this is better. Once I'm satisfied and settled, I will start bringing in all the various ammos. I don't have the time or the ISK right now to go and haul them. So I'll start buying up some T2 ammo and bringing them in as well once I'm settled on the fit. But I'm pretty sure I want to stay with heavy missiles. I'm thinking I might lean towards missiles as my primary damage source, which means swapping out a couple things, and I'd like to maybe get the tank just a little bit stronger, although it does seem to do just fine. So any insight from you guys out there in the World Wide Web, lay it on me. This will, whatever I finalize, either this or the Dominics, will be the last battleship I buy here, unless I do a Mercurial, but we'll see. But I want to trade towards a Marauder. Due to comments from in the corp as well as you guys out there, maybe a Paladin. I don't want to do a Vargur. Just don't want to. I don't like the tracking on artillery and stuff, and that's kind of the same reason we're leaning away from the Kronos. And I don't want to do more missiles. I'd like to do something a little different. Lasers could be fun. I could train up to T2 larges maybe. I think T2 larges will have more use than cruise missiles in other things I would do. Used to rat in, like, it was Pravi and it was Sancha rats, so we used omens and stuff. It was pretty fun to do stuff in omens. I just don't think I want to train missiles to Tech 2 cruise missiles, so that leaves the Golem out and the Vargur just because I don't like artillery so much, or autocannons. Doing that on Cursed already. I think Paladin. I'd love to do a Kronos, like I said, but hybrids have a problem with tracking to begin with, so leaning towards Paladin. So whatever I decide on this for my mission running ship will be what I run until I get into a Paladin. So that's cool. Let's hand in this mission. Yeah, not bad. I could have blissed it, but I like grabbing that Zor, and I think that paid off for us with this this here. I'm really tempted to just plug that in. I would like to eventually go with like a full Ascendancy set, because you spend a lot of time in Warp, so I'm kind of maybe hold off until I get the Warp Speed one. We don't need that either, so we just put this all for now into my ear. And we'll keep that. I don't know if that matters. We'll keep it in us in case we need it. And there we go. So that is a mission in our new brawling, quote-unquote, Rattlesnake. I will post the fit in the comments and any sort of critiques. I'd like to try to squeeze a little bit more tank out of it. Either, I mean, if we can do passive, I don't know if that's possible to fit passive, kind of like the Gila, where you go with passive regen, but then you lose a lot of damage as well. So anyways, we'll see what you guys think. I might play around with some fits as well in the between time, but there we have it. A much more engaging fit, and if you enjoyed that video or found it helpful, definitely let me know in the comments down below. Give me a thumbs up. That helps a lot. Subscribe if you haven't, and take care. Fly safe. Catch you guys next time. I'm out of here.